Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. Today, I will be reading Chapter 6 from The Soldier's Widow, which is the second story in my crime anthology, Life's Dark Corners. So, let's begin. Chapter 6. Janine woke up the next morning to her phone's constant blaring. She looked over and saw that it was Robert calling. She groaned slightly as she grabbed the phone and answered it. "Hello, Robert," she greeted him groggily. "Jesus, Mom!" Robert cried. "Are you all right?" "Am I all right? Of course I'm all right. Why wouldn't I be? I got your phone call last night. I'm sorry I didn't answer. Long day at work, and I didn't even check my phone until I woke up this morning. You left a message and sounded frantic." The events of yesterday replayed in Janine's head. She recalled the masked intruder kicking down her door, and then her firing the gun. The man's body jerking and then falling backward were the most vivid images. "Robert," she began calmly, "a man tried to break into my house yesterday. He kicked in my door, and I had your father's old service pistol with me. I shot him." "Holy Christ, Mom!" Robert gasped. "Did you kill him?" "Yes." "God damn me for not answering." "Baby, it's fine. You didn't know. How are you supposed to know this would happen? I'm still my own woman, not some sickly old biddy that you need to be on call for. Simone came over and she helped me get through it." "Well, thank God for her, but is there anything else I can do?" "Robert, I know you would have been right over. I don't doubt that for a second. You and your sister have always been there for me. That's family. I'm just thankful that I'm okay and I get to spend some more time with all of you." "Me too, Ma. Me too. I'm glad at least you didn't call me from jail." Janine giggled. "No, the detective said it was self-defense. Your mother won't be behind bars anytime soon." "I'd feel bad for the inmates if you were. The mother hen of the big house, that would be you." "I already had 3 troublemakers grow up in my house. I don't need any more." "Come on, Ma. I wasn't that bad, at least." Janine heard someone talk in the background, heard Robert reply affirmatively. "Ma, I'm sorry, but I have to go. Call me if you need anything." "Thank you, son. I love you." "Love you, too." 8 days later. "Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you." The gathered family and friends cheered as Laura blew out the candles on her birthday cake. Behind her stood her father, Robert, and her mother, Sarah, the proud parents of a now 16-year-old girl. Janine, as always, cut the cake and dispersed the slices out to the assembled party, with Laura being the first and her being the last. Everyone waited for Laura to take the first bite before they all dug in. Janine had really outdone herself this time with the cake. It was a double-layered white cake with chocolate chips inside and a chocolate buttercream frosting. She was blessed with many gifts, with baking being one of the greatest. She delighted in watching everyone enjoy the cake before moving on to the presents. Laura shrieked with joy as she opened her gifts one by one. From Simone and Lawrence, she got a pearl necklace. Janine got her a gold jewelry box. But it was Robert and Sarah who stole the day. When they let everyone outside to the driveway, where Janine's new red Buick Enclave sat waiting for her. It was a few years old with some mileage, but it was in tip-top shape. The parents smiled as Laura hugged and kissed both of them. She deserved it. Laura was a straight-A student and was already working a job. She was far from spoiled and had been saving up for her own car, so they decided to go ahead and get her one. It meant more money she could put toward college instead. Robert insisted that she take it for a test drive around the neighborhood, a request Laura was more than happy to oblige. She got in along with Robert and Lawrence, both of them insisting they tag along. After all, Laura had just gotten her license, so her driving status was still novice. While they were gone, Janine and Simone helped Sarah with cleaning up a little while the party died down. The rest of the family and friends took seats in the backyard and made a bonfire as the sun started to go down. "A perfect sweet 16, Sarah," Simone complimented her sister-in-law while washing the dishes. "Makes me look forward to my Susan's special day." "Thank you, Simone," Sarah replied gratefully as she gathered the trash bags to take out to the street. "It's too bad Sam couldn't be here today." Simone and Janine exchanged glances. "He's probably busy with something. You know he's working on himself right now." "Good for him. Still, though, you know Laura loves her aunt and uncle both dearly." What Janine loved most about her daughter-in-law was her cheerful outlook on life. That's why Janine, Robert, Simone, and Lawrence agreed not to tell anyone else about the shooting, at least not till long after the birthday party. "I'm sure will come over later or send Laura's present in the mail," Janine commented hopefully. "There's one thing Sam is good at, it's being an uncle." Just then they heard the sound of the Enclave pulling back into the driveway. Then they heard Laura shriek, and all three women raced out of the house to the front yard. Sarah clapped happily, and even Janine and Simone smiled when they saw Laura hugging her beloved Uncle Sammy. Laura was tall for her age. She'd already stood an inch over Sam, so the way she hugged him was almost comical. On the ground next to him was a small package, no doubt Sam's gift for his niece. Lawrence and Robert eyed Sam with contempt, which Janine figured meant they were still suspicious of him. "Uncle Sam, I didn't know you'd be coming," Laura squealed. "Thank you so much." "I never miss my niece's special day," Sam said with a grin. "I got you something." He released himself from her embrace and picked up the gift. Laura opened it excitedly to reveal a set of mystery thriller novels. Reading was one of Laura's great joys. In fact, it was a common Stone trait to be an avid reader. Sam and Laura were the biggest readers in the family, and they bonded over it. To someone on the outside, it was a decent gift. To Laura, it was perfect. She thanked them enthusiastically and kissed him on the cheek. Then she walked with Sam into the house. "I can't believe that bastard showed up," Lawrence growled. Janine and Simone looked at him with alarm. Sarah rolled her eyes, knowing full well Lawrence's distaste for Sam. "Not here," Robert ordered. "We'll handle this later." The group split up, with Robert and Lawrence making their way to the backyard, while the girls returned inside to finish cleaning up. Inside, Sam was gathering a plate, while Laura was talking his ear off, but he was smiling and laughing the whole time. Eventually, someone called her to come to the backyard, which she reluctantly did. Sarah and Simone left as well, after wrapping up their duties, leaving Janine and her youngest child alone together. "First off," Sam stated as he took a bite of the pork chop on his plate, "I want to say I'm sorry for going off on you like I did on the phone. I realize that my problems are mine, and maybe it's karma getting back to me." "Is that all you have to say?" Janine asked with her arms crossed as she leaned on the counter. "What else is there?" So you're going to claim you have no idea what happened in my house?" Sam set the plate down. "What happened?" Janine told Sam every detail she could remember about the shooting. When she was finished, Sam's eyes were wide with shock. "Jesus, Mom," he gasped. Then he caught her glare. And you think I had something to do with this?" "Are you saying you didn't?" Sam met her gaze. I may have done a lot of bad things, but I would never send someone to rob you." "Okay," but she wasn't entirely sure. Janine's phone began to ring on the kitchen counter where she left it when they were cleaning up. It cut the thick tension in the air, a relief to both of them. She answered immediately. "Miss Stone, it's Detective Carlson," the familiar voice of the cop who interviewed her spoke. "Yes, what can I do for you?" Janine asked. "We have additional information you might want to hear for your safety." Janine looked over at a curious Sam. "I have to take this privately." She left them standing like a deer in the headlights and went into one of the upstairs bedrooms to continue the phone call. "You said additional information," Janine inquired. "About what?" "Listen to me. The man who broke into your house was a career criminal named Brandon Herschel. He was known on the streets as a muscle for hire." "And how is that information relevant?" "Because he had a partner named Lee Smythe. From what I've heard about these two, they were always together. We found footprints in the snow behind your house that led to a spot across the street from your house. If my theory is correct, Mr. Smythe was also there and was planning to break in from the back. I think you fighting back scared him off, but there's a chance he may come back for revenge. We have an APB out on him, but you need to be careful, Miss Stone." Janine stood as if in a trance. Would this nightmare end? The man she shot had a partner? Who was this Lee? Was he more dangerous than his partner? And what was a muscle for hire? She was in such shock that it took Carlson a whole minute of calling her name to finally get her attention. "Miss Stone!" he finally shouted. Janine almost dropped the phone. Yes, she finally responded. "I'm still here." "Miss Stone, I don't mean to scare you, but please take some precautions. Both men have been wanted for murder for some time. We managed to trace Mr. Herschel's prints to a pistol that was used to kill a man 18 months ago, and Smythe is a prime suspect for 2 other murders. Do you habitually carry your husband's pistol?" "No, I keep it in his gun cabinet, except when cleaning it or going to the range." "Well, until we find Smythe, you may want to keep it on you just in case." Okay, Detective. Take care now, Miss Stone." Janine ended the call and felt herself on the verge of hyperventilating. What had she done to warrant this sort of evil to come into her life? And so late in life. She'd never had enemies. No one held a grudge against her, except maybe Sam, but he was her own flesh and blood. He was family. And he said he had nothing to do with what happened. Was he lying? She needed to get some air, so she left the bedroom, walking quietly through the living room and out the front door. No one else was out there, so she took the opportunity to get her labored breathing back to normal. As she looked up and down the street, she noticed a familiar-looking car, a dark green Chevy Cruze, parked down the street. In fact, it was very similar to the car that Janine noticed parked across the street from her house just before Brandon Herschel kicked in her front door. Dread overtook her and she almost fainted. It took everything she had to rush back into the house and lock the front door. Then she raced to the backyard. This concludes the reading of Chapter 6 of The Soldier's Widow. If you're interested in picking up a copy, you can check out all my books actually at jamesmichaelsbooks.com. Click on any of the books. It will hyperlink you to where you can purchase it on Amazon. It's available for paperback, Kindle, and Kindle Unlimited. You can always hit me up on my personal email. It's on my website for a signed copy. And lastly, you can sign up for my email subscription at jamesmichaelsbooks.com, which will give you updates on all upcoming books, book deals, events, content, things of that nature. Goodbye.